What is a crash out? Okay, description. To suddenly become uncontrollably angry, distressed, or irrational. Okay, now that we know what a crash out is, let's see who the worst crash outs ever are.
Round 1.
Benson. If Benson is not in your top 5 greatest crash out characters, your list is just wrong. He is a staple, a foundational piece to the round table of crash outs. Hell, I might call him co-president. We'll get to who the president is later. But if you don't believe me on why I say he is a crash out, let me tell you about one episode. In the episode, Think Positive, Benson was told by Pops to stop yelling at Mordecai and Rigby. And for some reason, Mordecai and Rigby decided to become even worse rage baiters in this episode.
Doing?
I don't know, but what do you think he'll do when he gets to 100?
788, 89, 90, 91.
So Benson got so mad, he went out and bought an audiobook to help him get control of his anger. And then he got a flashback to his childhood, which pissed him off so much, he drop kicks his TV and chucks a full lounge chair out of the window down 4 stories. Then still pissed off, goes back to the park being so mad the literal ground he's walking on is burning up from the heat he's generating from his anger. While walking, he sees Mordecai and Rigby drive and crash the cart for no reason other than for shits and giggles. And Benson, seeing this, loses it. Editing nonsense here, I just want to point out the fact of, look how mad he looks right here. You know how mad you gotta be to be hunched over? I get mad. I've never gotten so mad where I'm hunched over looking like I'm about to spear them like Braun Breaker. Oh my god, that's mad. Starts floating up out of anger, and Benson, finally being told to let loose by Pop, finally yells at them and causes a literal explosion of anger that Mordecai and Rigby become deaf from. And that's just the single episode that's about his anger, not to mention every single episode where Benson yells at the boys to
Whoa, and then we'll be all like, in your face! And then I'll be all like, get back to work!
The next person I would like to offer up on the round table of crash outs is someone you wouldn't think of at first. The man is of peace and balance. I'd like to add the Avatar, Aang specifically. Like, when he gets pissed and goes into the legendary state, it's peak. Like, I'm not gonna talk about the Appa scene. Everyone knows that scene too well. And yes, that is his greatest crash out moment. But my personal favorite is the crash out caused by the Earth King bending general. In episode 1 of book/season 2. In the episode, the general was trying to figure out how to get Aang to tap into the Avatar state at will to defeat the Fire Lord. So the general, knowing that Aang is still of the mental age of a 12-year-old, decided to just rage bait the fuck out of him. So you might be like, how did the general rage bait the peace-loving Avatar? By just offing his girl and his friend right in front of him. Then immediately, like, Aang immediately went into the Avatar state and just wrecked that shit. And the general was like, it was a prank, bro, your girl not dead. See, like, this is like what I was planning on doing the whole time. Aang was just like, nah, I told you this entire time you shouldn't do that. He was just telling bro, like, stop, it's not worth it. And the general just did it anyways. So Aang decided to just nuke the place real quick, and because to show like that was just dumb. Oh, another crash out that genuinely shook me at first when I first watched it again was when he saw Monk Gyatso. And, well, first, look at the fire soldiers around him. Monk Gyatso was like that. Top 5 airbender. Not even close. And the rage in this scene had me sick. It was raw. Like, even though it was just the animation, you could feel the anger. Like, the crash out alone should put him in premium VIP pass to the round table of crash out. Honestly, this might be a hot take, but one of my favorite, most satisfying crash outs to see is when a calm and collected person just lose their shit, just starts tweaking. And my favorite character that does this is Spongebob. Like, one of my favorite episodes in the show is when Squidward loses his job. That whole episode is people just rage baiting the fuck out of SpongeBob. And at the end, when SpongeBob yells at Squidward about getting a job, and Squidward hit him with the,
what are you saying?
And SpongeBob just lost it. He literally got so mad, he pushed his bed out of the house, destroying the wall, then falling a whole story down, landing with no fall damage, then full sprinting with the bed to the Krusty Krab with Squidward in it, then goes to Mr. Krabs to tell him to give Squidward his job back. And Mr. Krab, thinking Squidward stole his first dime, won't give him his job back. So SpongeBob then proceeds to chuck a pocket full of dimes at Mr. Krabs. Then when he wouldn't accept that, he yanked Mr. Krabs out of his chair over the desk, held him in the air, choking him out, and shook the shit out of him, all while talking shit about him and Squidward. And don't get me started on the crash out caused by Patrick. Like when SpongeBob was filming a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy movie, and the whole process was long and annoying for SpongeBob, so he was just slowly losing it. But he knew it was almost over. Then filming finally wrapped up and was ready to go. So SpongeBob asked Patrick, "Hey, what's on the camera?" And apparently the whole time during the filming, Patrick thought it would be genius to keep the lens cap on the camera. SpongeBob literally lost it. Like, he started twitching. He started ass scooting across the floor like he was Scooby-Doo. Then rips a whole ass chunk out of the earth as if it was a puzzle piece and started eating the worms underneath it. Oh, and another time when Patrick caused a crash out was when they adopted a baby clam together. Then later in that episode, SpongeBob got mad at Patrick for never doing anything around the house, and Patrick said he's been working all day and needs a break. Then a whole fight ensues, leaving Patrick to storm out to go back to work, i.e. go back to his house and watch TV. SpongeBob peeped this and decided to pull up because Patrick forgot his briefcase, which just so happened to be filled with donuts and ice cream. So SpongeBob dumps the briefcase onto Patrick. Patrick says,
"Oh, so this is the thanks I get for working overtime."
And the greatest line of SpongeBob was, these examples should be more than enough evidence to have him as a high-ranking member, a part of the Roundtable of Crash Outs. Okay, so earlier in the video, I said Benson is the co-president of the Roundtable of Crash Outs. So you might be wondering now, who is the actual president of the Roundtable of Crash Outs after I named some great ones? And I think it's only right if I introduce him. He is 5'3", all muscle, and the pride of his race. His strength is only matched by his rage. That is Vegeta, specifically Team 4-Star Vegeta. My personal favorite Vegeta. He is 99.99% of the time on crash out timing. I can name so many scenes off the top of my head when Vegeta lost it. Like when Vegeta was fighting Cell and got kicked away by Trunks for the first time. And he said he actually felt pride in someone else. But as he said in Crash Out Glory, it gets overruled by
unyielding ray.
There's another scene where in the first Goku and Vegeta fight, Vegeta gets knocked into a cave. Then Goku, being an idiot, decides to ask Vegeta, the enemy, was he okay? And Vegeta went to be sarcastic. And remember, Goku's an idiot, so he genuinely thinks what Vegeta said is real. Vegeta literally yells so loud that the cave crumbles around him from his rage like exploding out. Now, these reasons are enough to put him in the round table. Well, what makes him president, you might ask? Oh, you didn't ask. Well, I'm gonna tell you anyways. Back on Planet Namek, Vegeta ran into Gohan after just grabbing all the Dragon Balls from Frieza and wonders why he has a stupid watch. And then he forgets about it to go do something else. Then he, after, of course, punching the shit out of Gohan, he then goes back to find the original Dragon Ball, and then he realized that that watch...
That watch wasn't a watch at all! It was some kind of Dragon Ball locator!
Vegeta starts tweaking and literally losing his mind. Then Ghost Nappa in the ear, not making anything better. He got so mad, both his eyes filled with blood. Not bloodshot, pure pure blood in his eyes. He then explodes out of anger, then blasts through everything, yelling and screaming at the top of his lungs. His screams were so loud and filled with rage. 1. People heard him completely across the planet. That's 3 times bigger than Earth. But forget that. 2. People heard him on Earth even though he was light years away. 3. King Yema, the guardian of heaven and hell, heard his screams and thought it was his wife. 4. His yells were so loud, his future child from a different planet on a different timeline heard his screams. He got so mad when he landed he couldn't form a sentence. It was only stutters of anger. That is why he is the president of the Roundtable of Crash Outs. I don't know anyone that got so mad their unborn child from the future on a different planet heard them. Alright, so that was the video, I guess. Make sure to like and subscribe or whatever. Just do you. See ya.